San, and it actually comes from this series of decks she made that are on this box it's called Spread Machine, but she's renamed it to Spread Crafter. And it's essentially a deck that you use to make spreads. Quite obviously with Spread Machine or Spread Crafter. And you can also use it as an oracle deck. And so this is one of the expansion packs that she made to go along with the original Spread Machine deck. So this one's called Quest. And it has a lot of that kind of video game language and theming and such like that. So we'll open this and get the cards out for the spread. And so this spread is based on the cards from the character section. So these all have a title, a little description, and then they say which section of the deck they're from. So I read these meanings out to you earlier. So we'll lay these out. Hero, sidekick, law, strength, weakness, ultimate move, and destiny. So then we'll get the deck that we're actually going to read from. Which was Become an Oracle. So again, that top card is like an extra one that I generally don't use in readings, so we'll put that one away. So I'll give these a good shuffle. Okay, that feels good. So we're actually going to need to move this hero card for a moment. I'll spread these cards out. These cards do have a matte finish on them, so sometimes they are a bit difficult to fan out like this, along with just the sheer number of cards. They need quite a lot of space. There we go, so let's shuffle these cards around a little. Here I might have to just go a little off to the side there, so we have enough room for these cards for you to pick from. Okay, so you can grab, just pick a card if you like, or I can run my hands over and you can just say stop and I'll pick that one. Yeah, okay. So we're looking for a card for the first one, Hero. Beautiful. So this card is number 56, Neptune. Dreams, delusions, and connecting to the essence and fluidity. And because it's one of those planet cards, it's kind of set in outer space. It's got a nice dark background with a lot of kind of clouds and gases and lots of little stars here. In the centre is blue, and they have long, long blue hair trailing behind them. Kind of like a cape, or it almost looks like wind could just be passing by him. Okay, I'll put that next to the hero card, and the way I like to do readings is pull one card, read it, kind of figure out its meaning, and then move on to the next cards. So that as we go, we can kind of see the story unfold. So, again, we have the hero card, the adventurer, the wayfarer, the one who embarks on a journey. Who are you as the hero of your story, the champion of your epic quest? So, in this position, I'd say that you are Neptune. The focus on dreams and delusions might be important to you if you don't already, to connect to the essence, to be connecting to nature, things like that. So I'll have a look in the guidebook as well. Beautiful. Neptune is the 8th planet from the Sun. The presence of methane gives Neptune its bluish colour. In astrology, Neptune is the planet of ideals, intuition, spirituality, and compassion, as well as the domain of dreams and delusions. From our journey, we discovered a loss of consciousness and a loss of civilization that touched it. We link this planet to connecting to the essence and essential substance and to higher energy knowledge. If this planet appears in your life, it is time to have a fluid interaction, to repair the fractures and end conflicts, to move from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. So I think that's a really good card to connect with the hero card. So saying on this journey, on your journey, you might have a lot of ideals, intuition, spirituality, and compassion. And that it's recommended that in this journey, or I guess in this journey, you will repair fractures, end conflicts, and move from lower to higher consciousness. That's a really good start to the beginning of this journey. So our next card is Sidekick. So number 49, the Sphinx, walking between the worlds. And in this image in the foreground, we have a pyramid in Egypt. And then we have kind of the Sphinx creature, which is, I believe, a lion with the head of a human. But in this version, the Sphinx also has wings that are feathered. And in this image, it's not made of stone. It's like it's a real creature. It has fur, it has feathers, and the face is that of a real-life human. They have kind of a striped headdress on, reminiscent of ancient Egyptian kind of pharaoh and royal wear. It's blue and white stripes. And they have a collar of gold around their neck with some hints of orange gems in it. So again, the meaning for sidekick is your loyal helper, follower, and cheerleader. Someone or something that can serve as your resource and support you on your journey. So let's have a look in the guidebook to get a bit more info on this walking between the worlds. Here we go. Sphinx. The Sphinx is a spiritual guardian and is most often depicted as a male with a pharaoh's headdress. It is the guardian of memories and old knowledge. It is a stargate, a protector, and a keeper of secrets. It is associated with soul retrieval as well as life and death. So I think that's where that walking between the worlds of life and death, could maybe be that connection there. And it coming up as the sidekick, in the sidekick position as a spiritual guardian, and a guardian of memories and old knowledge, protector and keeper of secrets. So on your journey, the Sphinx can be your spiritual guardian and sidekick. They can have a lot of memories, maybe from past lives, if you believe in that, and a lot of old knowledge. And it's going to have your best interest at heart as a spiritual guardian. It's a really nice one to come up as sidekick. So then, for the Law card, I might just pop this one back in. Okay. So for the Law card, we have Thoth. Number 23, Teachings and Wisdom. So the Law card is, what is your backstory, your heroic narrative, and the details of your character? What made you the specific hero that you are? What information is relevant to your quest right now? Let's have a look in the guidebook to claim a bit more meaning. So, Thoth is the Egyptian god of the moon, of reckoning, of learning and writing. He is the inventor of writing, the creator of languages, the scribe, the interpreter, the advisor of the gods, and the representative of the sun god Ra. Teaching, expression, intellect, communication, balancing the polarities, cooperation, tricks, and clever solutions are intimately connected to him. So I think this card might be leaning more into the what information is relevant to your quest right now, rather than the backstory part of this. So I'm thinking what's relevant right now is something about writing, about language and understanding, and that teaching and wisdom. So it's going to be a big part of this quest and journey that's happening right now. Is something to do with language, writing, learning and wisdom. It could even be related to the gods or your spirit guides, whatever it is you believe in, even your angels. That there could even be some kind of a connection or communication between you and these higher beings, is what might happen in your quest. So, the Strength card. So number 27, Isis, Magic and Regeneration. So the Strength card is, what are your strength, your special abilities and attributes, your light? What empowers you, strengthens you and defines you? What makes you capable and what makes you unique? So I'm already getting some ideas about the magic part of this, but we'll have a look in the guidebook, see if anything else pops out. 27. Isis, aka or Set, unsure of the pronunciation there, a goddess of ancient Egypt, is the wife of King Osiris. She is associated with the breath of life, magical conception, magic, protection, transformation, shape-shifting, restoring the body, regeneration, compromise, and divine power. Now, I'm not sure how familiar you are with kind of ancient Greek mythology, but Isis, the wife of King Osiris, she actually brought her husband back to life. So Osiris was the king of Egypt, and his brother Set, was extremely jealous of him, and he wanted to be king. So he killed his brother, chopped his body up into many small pieces, and scattered them across the land, across all of Egypt. And then Isis, with the help of Seth's wife, went and found every last piece of her husband and put him back together. But they couldn't bring him back to life just yet. They needed to keep him in hiding and wait for the opportune moment. So they wrapped him in bandages, and they did essentially the whole process of mummification. You know, removing fluids from the body, removing certain organs, etc., etc. And that's how his body remained preserved until that opportune moment arrived. And then Isis breathed the breath of life into him, and he came alive again. In the story, they then spend the night together, and she becomes pregnant with a son. And when this son is born, he takes on Seth and becomes the new king of Egypt. And Osiris remains past, he dies again, but then he becomes kind of the king of the underworld and helps with the passing on of the soul. So that's kind of the story. She's an incredibly dedicated wife. She loves her husband. She works incredibly hard to get every piece of his body back, and then breathes that breath of life into him. And so that's why she's so associated with magic, is that she was able to do this. She was able to bring him back to life. And so I think this strength card could also be talking a lot about that myth, that your strength could be your dedication to whatever it is that you are dedicated to and that you believe in. You could be someone who has so much love and are filled with so much love to give to people, the world, your hobbies, yourself even. And also having that magic, that innate magic ability to do incredible, incredible things. And so I think that's what this is saying. Those are your strengths. Also from that tale, the preservation process that happens to Osiris is the origin of mummification. That's why the pharaohs are mummified and they go through this process in ancient Egypt, is because that in that belief system, that is what they believed Isis did to Osiris. And so all of their pharaohs should go through the same process. So the next card is weakness. So this card is Archangel Gabriel number 6, meaning divine messages and illumination. It's of a masculine figure with kind of a red and orange robe on. He has a, I'm going to say trumpet, but it is some kind of a wind instrument. I do not know very much about the angels, but I think this is an important signifier of Gabriel. It's like an item he has. He has these beautiful, large, white feathered wings behind him. He's also holding, it looks like a very long sword, but it could also be some kind of a staff because it's quite thin. And he's standing in some nice long grass. glass with some small little white flowers at the bottom. So this card, again, is for weakness. What are your tragic flaws and downfalls? What do you tend to struggle with? What's something you can work on? What aspects of yourself are calling for growth and expansion? So already from this card, I'm kind of seeing the divine messages or messages from your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever it is that you believe in. Could be something that's not really coming through to you. You're not hearing them, you're not noticing these messages. And that's what it is that could be your weakness. But I'm going to have a look in the guidebook as well. And number 6 right near the start. There we go. Archangel Gabriel. The messenger, Archangel Gabriel, knows how to direct us during moments of doubt or deep uncertainty about the path we must take. Archangel Gabriel supports divine expression, authenticity, creativity, protection, communication, inspiration, sharing hope and love, and illumination on a big scale. So yeah, I think that's tying in as the messenger. Something about these messages from your higher self, spirit guides, angels, whatever it is, aren't getting through to you. And also about this doubt and deep uncertainty about the path needing to be taken. That could also be a weakness in there that's really standing out to me. So that's something that needs to be, worked on, something that can be expanded upon. So I think that's what really needs to be worked on here. Those two things are really the weaknesses. The message is not coming through or not being noticed, not believed even. Sometimes it's really difficult to trust in that intuition and those feelings or the signs you might see in the world. But you need to work on trusting yourself and your guides, again, whatever you believe in, that they are communicating with you. And that doubt and deep uncertainty about the path needing to be taken, you need to work on that doubt and uncertainty. Really think about the path that you think it is that you're on or that you need to take. And reassurance and the reassurance that everything's going to be okay and everything's going to work out the way that it's meant to be. And that everything's going to work out the way it's meant to work out and the way it's meant to be. But doubt and uncertainty don't just go away overnight. They're things that need to be worked on. So you could journal about this, meditate on it, even just think about it in your kind of day-to-day life as you're going when you feel those doubts about the path that you're on. Think about why you're on this path, why you're doing this, or why you need to do this. And that everything is going to work out and how it's meant to. Those things that are meant for you will not be withheld from you. Everything that is meant for you will come to you. And I also realise I didn't describe the Isis card. My apologies for that. But it's a feminine figure. She's wearing a kind of gold and orange dress. She also has a collar of gold and multiple coloured gems around her neck. She has quite long black hair and she's wearing a headdress, kind of like a circlet band of gold around her head with a piece of gold that sticks up at the back of her head. She has these beautiful wings that kind of go down the length of her arm. And near her she's standing in a green field with these beautiful green and white flowers at her feet. And behind her is the night sky. You can see stars and constellations and a bright white light behind her. It's a very beautiful and very detailed card. You could just stare at this for a long time. Alrighty, so our next card is Ultimate Move. Let's see. So, this card is number 50, the Unicorn Realm, meaning miracles, purity, and elevation. And in it we see a white unicorn in the centre with a white mane and tail. And they appear to be on a path in either a garden or maybe like a kind of forest. There's a lot of greenery around them, some beautiful pink and purple flowers on either side of the path that they're walking on. And there's some like beautiful, I'm going to say willow trees with their leaves and branches kind of hanging down around the path with some beautiful white, pink and purple flowers. And there's also maybe some kind of a stone gazebo in the background that's with lots of yellow stone. That's a really beautiful card. I loved all the greenery and the few pops of colour in the flowers. So again, this card is for Ultimate Move. What is the best part about you? Your authentic power, the undeniable truth of your soul, your ultimate source of light. What is the one move you can always count on for your success and to smash through obstacles? So I'm not getting so much from the card and its meaning. So I'm going to have a look in the guidebook for a bit more kind of assistance and messages. Unicorns reconnect us to innocence, purity, unconditional love, and kindness, and also to unity. They transport us to higher dimensions in order to heal and bring knowledge. They heal us by their presence and magic. They are associated with high frequencies, healing, creation, rainbow rays, creative expression, intuition, and channeling. To me, the kindness and unconditional love is really standing out to me as that's the source of light, that's the one move, that's what really gets you forward, is that you're just a really kind person. Not having or harbouring negative like thoughts and feelings about people and holding on to those things. The kindness and, in a way, openness and love that you have for people or yourself or the world. So yeah, that unconditional love and kindness, and with kindness I often think of openness as well, is one of the best parts of you and your authentic power. It's just being a kind person. Not harbouring grudges, harbouring negative feelings for people. Because not only do people see that, but the universe and the world sees that. It sees kindness, it sees love. And so that's what helps bring you to success. And so the last card is Destiny. So let's have a look at that one, see what pops out. We have number 45, Mother Gaia, generosity and belonging. So on this she has, you can see like her arms kind of held in front of her, crossed, almost like she's maybe resting her chin on her arms. And from her left arm springs a cascading waterfall. And then her hair is long and green, and it forms trees and shrubs and flowers and grasses. It's kind of showing these energies, this life is coming from her, which makes sense as it's Mother Gaia, with Gaia being another name for Earth, or an old name for Earth. So we'll have a look in the guidebook. And this one, number 45. Every culture has its version of the Earth Goddess. It is life and inhabits the planet. Gaia is associated with creation, bringing nourishment, procreation, and giving and preserving life. It represents different forms of power, destruction, cycles, resurrection, communion, abundance, and sharing. So I think I'm seeing a really strong connection between this card, Isis, and the Unicorn Realm. You know, these are all talking quite a bit about creation and love and kindness. And again, Isis was in the card position for strength, and the Unicorn Realm was for ultimate move. So I think these are all really highly connected and connected to, you know, this kind of destiny position, your life's calling, your gift, your highest alignment. You know, we don't have to go too super serious in it. You can, and you know, what must you manifest in this lifetime to fulfill who you are and who you are meant to be? But we could also be focusing a bit more on the gift and your life's calling. So your gift could be that generosity, creation, bringing nourishment to yourself and to others. And we've even got a hint again to resurrection again, of like Isis resurrecting her husband, just to show that connection even more. I think that's really what we're looking at, is that your gift is this generosity and love and creativity that you have, which I think is really incredibly beautiful. So I think there's been a lot of connections in this reading. You know, we've got the advisor to the gods, guardian of the gods, messenger of the gods. This is all really connected. And again, that love, kindness, compassion, generosity over here. So have some of these cards and the things I've said, or that the guidebook has said, kind of connected with you or resonated with you. Yeah, that's excellent. So one thing to always remember with divination readings is to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And so I'm really glad that you found some things that resonated with you. That's excellent. Okay, so I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. And the voucher you have from your friend totally covers all of this, so there's nothing you need to pay or anything. So I really hope you take these messages, keep them in mind, maybe even journal or meditate on these if you like.